The Bahamas today shared in the nostalgia of 50 years ago when famed civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. addressed throngs of Americans with his I Have a Dream speech.
U.S. President Barack Obama headlined the anniversary event today in Washington, where Prime Minister Perry Christie, complimented by a Junkanoo group, endorsed the message of racial equality.
In 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial behind me. 50 years later, the Bahamian Prime Minister joins in to let freedom ring. And Prime Minister Perry Christie said to do that, this time must be not just about reflection, but rejuvenation.
But above all, a profoundly personal level in the most authentic way possible, a time for rededication to the dream that Martin Luther King championed throughout his life.
The Prime Minister said Martin Luther King Jr.'s words are as relevant and as compelling today as they were 50 years ago. He said Dr. King's words came from not only deep within himself, but from deep within us all.
He had awakened to the call of that place and was rousing us from our slumber so that we could take our own inner soundings and hear it too. In so doing, he gave language to our deepest yearning for a better life. Martin Luther King's work remains unfinished. This then must be for all of us a time not only for renewal, but above all, a profoundly personal level in the most authentic way possible, a time for rededication to the dream that Martin Luther King championed throughout his life.
Prime Minister Christie added that we must carry on Dr. King's great and noble struggle because his work is not finished, adding that his blood cries out to us all.
To stand up for freedom, to stand up for human dignity, to stand up for equality, to stand up for social justice, to stand up for right and not for wrong, for peace and not for war, for love and not for hate.
And for more Bahamian flavor, the sounds of Junkanoo echoed throughout the mall. In 1963, 300,000 people turned out for the march in Washington. Today, although the weather isn't great, they've still turned out in great numbers to make sure that they keep the dream alive. In Washington, D.C., I'm Julian Reed for ZNS Network News.